Welcome to China Focus. I'm Shelley Zhang. Retailers in China have reason to beware the Ides of March. Every year on March 15th, state-run CCTV broadcasts a widely watched program in honor of World Consumer Rights Day. Now, it's a mixture of jazzy intros about consumer rights, song and dance numbers that talk about things like the abundance of fake products in China, and hidden camera exposés that unmask shady business practices. The companies that are featured in the show suffer a blow. And it's not just Chinese firms that get called out. This year, the show targeted Apple, saying that consumers in China were treated worse than those in other countries. Now, predictably, China's internet lit up with criticism of Apple, but one actor's microblog on Weibo showed Chinese netizens that not everything about the Apple backlash was as it seemed, and that the show that unmasks shady business practices may be getting up to some shady business of its own. Here today to talk about this, we have Jason Ma and Chen Zhifei. So I have to admit, I wasn't really familiar with the show before this year. How long has it been going on?
It's started from 1991. And almost every year, it's kind of have one night, whole night, the CCTV, one channel kind of devoted
it's
to
like
this.
It's like a gala, like
right. It's kind of more like a lot of kind of rock and roll dancing, those kind of things. And then meanwhile, they are kind of expose something like an explorer, like.
So if it's been going since '91, I've been kind of out of the loop, I guess.
Yeah, we were out of the loop too. I think some people told us it's something like the Chinese New Year Festival. Gala, also sponsored by CCTV. It's very rowdy. It's getting a little bit out of hand. Some kind of undertoned. Yeah.
Is it pretty popular in China then?
I guess so, because the Chinese CCTV kind of TV is so dominant in China. So sometimes you can't avoid watching it.
So everybody has to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, also people are looking out for the products being picked out by the show to avoid them, because those products have been labeled shoddy in quality, and immediately there is a market reaction to it. Give you an example. Last year, I think the show point out that the KFC is owned by Young Corporation, United States. KFC, very famous franchise for fast food in China, had a quality issue with the chicken. And then the sales suffered by as much as 7%.
So
and then the list go on and on.
Something happened to McDonald's.
So McDonald's, this year they picked out Apple and Volkswagen, which was huge in China.
Right.
So, I have to ask, are the concerns legitimate that they're bringing out? Like, they say Volkswagen has like faulty gearboxes, like the things that they're bringing out, there really are concerns.
Right, I guess basically what they are talking about with Apple is something I think that's probably true. I mean, of course, we are not talking about whether that's really a big issue or not. It's basically what they are saying is for outside China, when you have an issue within a year, Apple will replace the whole iPhone for you. But in China, they replace the whole iPhone, but they keep your back cover. Mm-hmm. And the reason for this, I did some research because of China do have a specific consumer law saying like if you replace the product totally, you will have to cover kind of renew the guarantee warranty time. So in this way, if you at the end of the year you replace this iPhone, you have to cover this guy another year. So Apple, out of their business consideration, they play a kind of a trick, like say that, oh, I'm not totally changing your iPhone. I maintain your back cover, so it's not a complete.
So the warranty doesn't get extended.
Extended for a whole year. They only extended 90 days. So, but this was because in many other countries they don't have this law. So Apple just replaced the whole iPhone.
I watched that iPhone segment and they didn't mention anything about this Chinese law.
They mentioned something, but I guess there is a subtle detail in this kind. So it's true. I mean, the fact is true, but they just explode this to the proportion where like they consider this like more like a national dignity issue. Basically, they treat American customer like this so good, and European customers so good. Why are Chinese were treated in this way? So it's kind of but this is definitely an easy topic to boost the rating. I mean, the audience kind of is.
Yeah, I think Chinese people have been on the receiving end a lot of this kind of emotional, kind of manipulative campaigns because of the 100 years humiliation. They were always given
so Apple has something to do with the opium war now.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. Similar logic would apply to Volkswagen, which is very popular. And even those government officials was chauffeured around in Audi A6. I mean, that's kind of a staple brand. And they were trashing Audi, I think, have a lot of ulterior motives. In the West, we know that cars are always called back, and the cars always have quality problems. And in China, they were amplified, they were manipulated, even though Chinese products are even on a lower run of the quality.
Well, so do they kind of target Western businesses, or is it more Chinese?
Not really. I mean, among those exported companies, there are several Chinese companies, and one of them is indeed a Chinese, very big internet portal. It's called NetEase, which is also listed in Nasdaq. And indeed, there are three kind of big internet portals in China. The problem is the other two, Sohu and Sina, they are both collided with this CCTV program. They all are sponsored of this program. The only one which is not sponsored was Target. So people were thinking like CCTV indeed also use this program to build up alignment. Like if you support me, give me money, and I will just kind of don't really touch you, but I will touch your friends, your enemy.
So do you say people trust this program?
Yeah, indeed.
Still, I think in that kind of environment, probably it's mind-boggling, inconceivable for us to hear talking about them. But in China, in that kind of environment, all the information is subdued, is kind of blocked, and people believe in that. And also the celebrities backing them up, including people from overseas, like this actor.
Well, yeah,
Peter Ho, right? We're going to talk, and so people believe it.
I mean, really, people get it. I mean, if you sit there, watch this 3 hours about these things, and their fact is indeed it is right, but it's more about they manipulate that emotionally to the level where it's unproportionally to the fact. So basically,
I mean, like, would they ever target like a state-run company, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, how do they choose?
I did a very rough research, and I found that we can say it started in 1997 because data was very scarce, was scanty between 91 and 97. After 97, you can see originally most of the targets. The company that bear the brunt of this campaign were state-owned companies, were Chinese products, because there wasn't that much a presence of foreign products in China. Chinese people were very poor, dirt poor at that time. They couldn't afford them. But now, I think there is a very obvious switch or kind of adjustment to their tilt, to their bias. Now there seems to be more into the foreign products, especially those prominent ones.
Well, popular ones. Yeah, let's talk about, well, Apple, you can hardly get more prominent or more, popular than that. Let's talk about this 820 party scandal. So it started when this actor, Peter Ho, posted this message on Weibo, like this microblog, and talking about, after the Apple thing, it's like, okay, Apple has so many tricks, I'm hurt as an Apple fan, really big chains treat Chinese customers so poorly, and then it said post around 820. So people are saying, that means that, maybe he was told to post.
No, you cannot take post 20 as the face value. What it says in the Chinese language, very nuanced setting, it meant to be instruction.
Okay.
It's like, please post it at 820.
So it's not just
literal translation.
No, so basically the truth is CCTV producer wrote up this message, sent that to this Peter Hu, because he is a famous guy in Weibo, asked him to post it. But the mistake he made is he missed his instruction with the message itself. And then the Peter Hu, this guy is so careless. He just posts everything together.
So then
cut and paste problem, just like the problem that plagued the people at Ernst Young, at all kinds of companies. Email got these people down.
So then netizens started collecting other posts from celebrities on Weibo that were also posted around 820.
Because that's the moment where they are showing this scandal from.
They start trashing Apple at the moment.
Apple at the moment on the TV, so they want to coordinate all the actions. So basically, they ask all the celebrities on Weibo to send the message around the same time to boost bar boost up this kind of thing. So because people watch TV, check their Weibo,
right.
so this is kind of the coordinated kind of campaign, manipulate people's mind. People get angry because the people at the very beginning you really get into it, and then you read it and get angry, and then suddenly say, oh, this guy is manipulated, and then search around, found many other people was also as a kind of acted like in this manipulative way.
Well, Peter Ho said that, you know, I mean, I read different accounts. One account said he said his phone was hacked, and another one said that, you know, his phone was stolen. Somebody else posted that. It was him,
what is most probably powerful against him is the evidence he presented himself. He said, well, somebody found out. That Weibo we talked about, like please post at 8:20, was removed immediately. Some people took a screenshot.
Right.
And he did mention that means he knew there was some problem.
So there is kind of another famous Weibo user. He's a writer in China, and he also posted a similar statement around the same time. And later on, he admitted, he said, yeah, I'm part of this whole thing, but I didn't take any money. So basically, he admitted there's a scandal.
Okay.
Yeah. Zeroing in on the target means that those people probably may or may not get money, but they got a benefit.
Well, for me, this is such like the kind of only in China twist, right? Like that.
So that's the reason Chinese thinking is so complicated, because they constantly in this kind of environment, like you were emotionally kind of get up and kind of stirred, get into it, and suddenly you found that's fake. So when you are kind of be cheated in this way again, so many people get cynical about anything.
That's also the reason why, if you go to China, the bestsellers are such things like currency war and all kind of conspiracy theories revolving around China. It's like the whole country was hemmed in by the Western power. And people believe in them because they live in an environment where everything seems to work against them. Some people are always conspiring against them. That's kind of environment.
Okay.
So they're accustomed to it and then believe in it.
Well, let me ask, why target Apple? Like, why have this whole kind of like, if there's a coordinated campaign against them, like people getting paid for this?
Well, I think Apple and Volkswagen are to a large extent being victimized by their success. Apple's revenue in China has gone up 30% or something. The Apple earned $6 billion last year. China is the second largest market for Apple after
But
America.
Apple is still not as big as Samsung or
and Volkswagen, they just announced, it's very ironic. Volkswagen just announced a plan to expand its capacity 70% by 2018. So some Chinese people should thank these people.
But I think the real reason still is something like for their rating, for this show's rating. Because the bigger you are, if I knock you down and without any political risk, that's foreign company, and then I will gain more audience. So I guess
like Apple is like a big Goliath.
You're saying that it's commercial interest driven, but I would not rule out there have been some political kind of insinuation behind the scenes that, okay, we want to protect domestic industry. We really want to pull those foreign brand names off the pedestal. I think it's still a possibility.
But for that part, I think their biggest target should be Samsung, because Samsung is the biggest cell phone sellers even in China. So I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't know their motivation, but they pick Apple successfully and make the Pro program very, very attractive.
Well, now everybody's talking about it,
right.
But do you think that this will undermine the trust people have in this program? Because most Chinese people are not on Weibo.
Well, it's very ironic, but these people who are doing the damage intentionally actually are using Apple products to send out the messages. And also it's ironic that it's about a show that attacks fraud. But the show itself turned out to be a fraud. That's really a very, kind of paradoxical. And I think eventually, definitely it will undermine the reputation of the people, the actors and producers. But in an environment that the whole culture is pervaded with this kind of, mindset, that the momentum is built on a false kind of background or foundation, and people have gotten accustomed to it. I don't think there will be any immediate fallout. It's just probably some laughing stock for people to enjoy.
But I agree. I mean, definitely the viewer for the TV probably is bigger in the Weibo kind of user. So end up like Apple may lose some kind of thing. And if they keep kind of attack Apple in this way as a way discriminate against the Chinese, maybe Apple may lose a lot. So, but that's a serious issue. That's the reason every company was attacked in the program. Immediately have a kind of official release
Just
statement.
one thing to add, if you think about the political implications, let's just assume these were Japanese products. And people could go to street. And there were protests against Carrefour a couple of years ago.
Right.
A French reseller. Yeah. So yeah, I think there is a political shade of kind of implication with it. Okay. Definitely.
Well, thank you both for coming and discussing this topic. And thanks for watching. And we'd love to hear what you think. You can email us at the address below, or if you're watching on YouTube, send us a comment. We'd love to hear from you.